Hi everybody, it is Julie and I am your Monday vlogger. I am a day late, but I'm not a dollar short. I'm your Monday vlogger for Back to Basics weight loss surgery channel, and this is the last in my series on habits and how habits affect us and how we can change our lives through changing our habits. I recommend, if you haven't already, go listen to the video response done by Marlene Joy Banded. She did a great one on willpower. And I'm going to kind of continue that and end with this week's last kind of thing on habits. So I hope it's not going to be too long. We'll see. Here we go. So there's something called the neurology of free will. It's the neurology of free will. Think about that for a minute. Neurology meaning our brains, neurology, the study of our brains, the study of our neurons, and free will. How much free will do we actually have? And how much is just habit? How much do we just get in a habit of? Okay, so right now, between 45 and 50% of your life is run by habit. The thing is then habit becomes our way toward willpower. And that's what Marlene Joy Banded talked about, is willpower. For example, and I have a whole list of little stuff here, but I'm going to talk about my own willpower right now. Last year, and I'm talking just before Christmas last year, October-ish, something happened at my place of employment, and it was devastating to most of the employees who worked there. I'm not going to get into it because I don't know if I can, but just put it this way, it made us rethink what we were doing at our place of employment. Suffice it to say, most of the people who work with me, we are all teachers, we don't teach because we enjoy teaching. I mean, because we get a lot of money. We do it because we enjoy it, sorry. We do it because we feel called to do it. It's more than just getting a paycheck. It's more than just showing up to work. It is a calling, something more than just a job. And because we don't get paid much. I mean, I gotta be honest, we don't get paid much. So last October, something devastating happened to our school. And it was a decision decided upon by our bosses. And as a result of that decision, there was a lack of trust by many people. And it shook me to my core, put it that way. It shook me so badly that I questioned everything I was doing in my life. Because, and not to get too emotional, but I take my job as a teacher very seriously. Aside from parenting, I think it can be one of the most important jobs a person. Being a teacher can affect a child for the rest of his or her life. And so I take it very seriously. I take that job very seriously. And so it affected who I thought I was, what I wanted to do with my life, that kind of thing. It was like ground shaking. And I couldn't talk about it because there were a lot of legal things that happened. I'll just leave it at that. In any case, so it shook me to my core, my my moral, my emotional core. When you get shaken to your moral and emotional core, there are not very many things to hold on to. There are your loved ones. There are your very close friends. There are things that, you feel like you're drowning and there's nothing left. And that happened to many, many of us. As a result, the habits that I had built up with my eating and exercise and all of that went away. Because even though I had had them for 2 years, by that point, I'd had my weight loss surgery I had in August of 2010. By that time, I had had 2 years of habits that I could draw on, but that evaporated for me. I felt like the ground left. And so I went back to original Julie. I went back to what my brain knew, which was eating anything, not exercising, and just basically living the way I had before I had my surgery. Well, luckily for me, I've got a tiny stomach. I cannot physically eat that much food. Now, if I could have, I probably would have. So I only ended up gaining about 18 pounds. Now, you might be shocked. Oh my God, 18 pounds. Yeah, I was not real happy about that. When I kind of came to, about January-ish, when we had our Back to Basics Transformation Academy, came to when I realized, oh my God, what I've done. I was not relying on any habits anymore. No drinking, no journaling, no exercise, no protein first, nothing. There was nothing. I mean nothing. And I said to myself, whoa, it can all go away. So, the neurology of free will. What is free will? Free will is built up of our habits. We are nothing more than creatures of people continually creating new habits. I've talked about starting your car. What about tying your shoe? What way do you put on your shoes every morning? Think about the things you do without thought. And those are habits. You can't get them out of your brain, I can swear to God. So, in our new lives as weight loss surgery patients, we have to create new habits so that when something stressful happens, we can fall back on those habits. For me, and I'm just going to list some of my new habits, I stuff 2 Quest bars in my purse every day because who knows if I get hungry, if I get stressed out, or if I get ticked off at somebody, I might need to go to a Quest bar. I walk like a crazy woman every day, 7.5 miles every day. Makes me in a better mood. I lay out my dinner before I leave work. I could go on and on, okay? So the Quest bars mean I don't cheat even if I feel like I want to put something in my mouth. The walking gives me a better mood. I'm able to handle work. I'm able to handle stress once I'm exercising. When I'm prepared for dinner, I'm not going to eat fast food. I'm eating something that's homemade. It's there. So let's get back to me last October. And we're going to talk about that circle, what habits are. First we have our cue, okay? Whatever that cue is. It could be anxiety, it could be sadness, it could be stress, and the reward is what we do. What we do to the cue is we eat. Most of us. So we eat food. Pick your favorite food. For me, it involves chocolate. Always has, always will, and sugar. Always has. It is my trigger. So we got the cue, we've got the food for me, and then immediately our neurons in our brain burst, high speed. I mean, I can tell you, I say brownie, my mouth waters. I'm not kidding you, okay? I say brownie and my mouth waters. Pavlovian, right? Just like a dog salivating. Bam, okay? Cue, we've got our emotional stress reaction. Food, it alleviates, at least in our mind, temporarily, the bad feeling. So we feel good. Hey, we got our reward. And the cycle continues, okay? And it continues and we don't stop it. And we've created a bad habit. Not a good one, not the walking, not the Quest bar, not the all of that, but a bad habit that we have learned to adapt in our brain. And this happened a long time ago. It didn't happen 2 years ago. It didn't happen 10 years ago. This happened when we were very young. Very, very young, okay? For some reason, for most of us, I can't even remember the time when I did not use food as a reward. When I didn't say, cookie equals I'm a good girl. Cookie makes me feel better. Brownie makes me feel better. Anything with sugar in it makes me feel better, okay? I can't remember a time, okay? And I'm betting most of you are the same way. All right, so how do we learn from this? I'm going to go until 14 minutes because I see it's 12 minutes right now. I'm going to go until 14 minutes, and then I'm going to do a second video because this is our last week, okay, of talking about habits. So despite all we do, and all we prepare for, my Quest bars, my walking, my get out the meat, my journaling, my water, everything I prepare for. Last October, nothing worked. And I caved to my inside, the thing that I had been doing for decades. Decades. Because that was the habit my brain immediately goes to. That is lack of free will, because I can't stop that unless I decide to stop it. Does that make sense? I can't stop it unless I decide to stop it. I'm going to stop here. Tape 2 coming up.